Hello, welcome to the channel. Probably my first video that I'm going to present, so this is an exciting start. I don't really know what I'm doing at the end of the day, so this is just going to be a little bit of a punt in the dark, so there even anybody's interested in what I'm doing and whether or not anybody cares. So we'll see how this all turns out. It's probably going to be poorly edited, appallingly badly done, out of focus, not zoomed in on the right places, and probably miss half the action. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy everybody's comments below. And at the moment, I still haven't even chosen a name for my channel. So welcome to my channel, whatever it might be. Anyway, today I decided that it would be a good idea to look at upgrading the brakes on my Mk2 VW Scirocco. I purchased some brackets a little while ago, and I also purchased some Porsche brake calipers. Last thing that I had to get was the brake discs. I found they were basically unobtainium. They come from a Seat Ibiza 1.8 turbo, I believe, and they were for when they had optional Brembo 4-pot brake calipers. Now, the Brembo 4-pot brake calipers meant that you got 305mm by 28mm discs that actually had the correct PCD to fit Mk1 Golfs, Mk2 Sciroccos, etc. So they were pretty much just a bolt on. It's a bit difficult when you can't actually buy the discs to find them. Seat doesn't sell them, nobody else seems to sell them, there doesn't seem to be anything and anywhere where you can get them. So what we've ended up with here is we needed to obviously look at trying to replace this setup here, which, well, as you can see, it's very small, very, very small, and not convenient for stopping you quickly. So what I thought we would do is come along with me and see what we're aiming at, because I'll be perfectly honest, I've already solved all of this. I've worked out how to do it, and there it is, with probably the biggest discs you've ever seen on a Mk2 Scirocco, Mk1 Golf, something of that ilk. Yeah, they really are very, very big indeed. They're actually 312mm discs. So, I don't know, I suppose I should actually try and show you the bits that we bought, that I bought originally for it. Oh my god, I don't know how to aim a camera yet. So, these are the Porsche brake calipers. My brackets. Now, these came from a company called Epytec, who I hasten to add, nobody seems to say on their website. There's several companies that make similar brackets to this. Come with some nice bolts and stuff like that, but no, but sadly, no discs. The discs that you just can't buy because they are unobtainium. So, what did I do to solve it? Well, lots and lots and lots of research and trying to find an appropriate set of discs to actually do the job, and then how do I make them fit? So what did I eventually find would do the job? That would be these ones here. These are actually 312mm discs from the Volkswagen Audi group, and they come off S3s and VW Golfs. Now, I think the specific part number related to mine, which is Brembo, are actually for a Mk5 Golf GTI, 315mm by 25, but the important element here is actually this setting here, the one right in the middle of the disc, which is the internal diameter of the disc. That becomes key. Anyway, enough of my inane faffing. I'm going to have to try and work out how to show you how to do all of this. It's going to be an adventure for me and for you, I suspect, if anybody ever bothers to watch this. But I'll see you in a minute. So, now that I'm in shot and I know what I'm doing, because, well, I'm clearly not a professional at this. Neither am I a professional mechanic anymore. I kind of trained when I was a kid. So I kind of know what I'm doing to a point, but it's been many years, so don't take anything I do as gospel, intelligent, or the right thing to do, but this is what I've done. So the problem is the fitting of the discs, which is the big issue. So what let's do is let's take this one off, and I'm sure I'll speed this bit up. I've dangled it out of the way. I realise I'm dangling the brake caliper, and everybody will tell you not to do it, but I don't care about these brake hoses. I'm changing them. So, right, I hope you can see that nice and clearly. So as we can see, this is a PCD 100, so the spacing between the bolt holes across is 100 millimetres. There's 4 of them, so PCD 100. And the centre bore of the disc, which is the key here, is 60 millimetres. Now, I tried desperately to find 305mm discs with the right size centre bore with the right PCD, and they just don't exist. Well, they do if you want to spend a huge amount of money on eBay for them, but I couldn't find anybody intelligent who was doing these, so do you know what? I didn't. I bought these monstrous things instead, shall I say, 315mm. They're 25mm thick. They actually have a 5-stud pattern. I realise there's 9 holes there. I don't know why Brembo drilled 9 holes in it. And the PCD on these is 112.5mm. So it's standard modern VW Audi PCD, but critically, they never change their centre bore of their discs. So it goes straight on. Just the bolt holes are in the wrong place. So it also misses everything back here. It misses everything around the top. You do have to be running quite big wheels to do this, so probably 16s, but there is still some clearance. So you might get away with 15s depending on your type of wheel, but mega discs. Right, let's show you how to convert them. Clearly, I still don't know what I'm doing, and it's going to take me a long time to know what I'm doing, and I probably need to get some more equipment so I can get some shots from up here looking down onto what I'm doing. But for the moment, I'll talk my way through it. So what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to get that PCD onto this one. So you basically need to drill between the 2 of them. So once you kind of need to find the best position. Now, what I found, you need to do it on a bench, and you need to hold the 2 of them. And when I said that this was 60mm in the middle, I'm talking rubbish. It's actually 64. So what I found is that this really, really nice, neat sprung wood saw, hole saw, fits nicely in the middle of that, which then keeps them centralised, so I can then spin and find the best place for drilling the holes, so that I can drill down into here, so that I can change the stud pattern from 5 to 4. What I found as well, I found that the securing bolt hole here, just at the bottom, you're best off putting it just up here. So that is what I'm going to aim at, and line that up in the right place. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this, but what you can see here is I need to drill 2 fresh holes and elongate 2 holes. So hopefully you can see that. That there's 2 holes that need drilling and 2 holes that need elongating. So that makes it actually quite a simple task to do. And once you've got it in the right place where you want to do this, take your 13mm drill bit and mark the two main holes that you want to drill, and then we need to centre punch where you're going to drill for the other ones. So once we're comfortable that our positioning is right, so we can easily elongate the top and bottom holes and drill the other ones. So that gives us our starting point. The other thing we need to do is we need to drill a hole the right size for the securing, now I don't remember what size that is, but it's a 6.5mm. So we need to start that one as well. So, and I hope you can see that. Focus, focus, focus. So you can see where I've got my new holes marked, ready to go. There's 3 of them. So that kind of gives you an idea what we're aiming at. And then these, this bottom hole here and this top one, we're going to elongate them down. Right, so let's get the holes drilled. Right, okay, so you can see basically what we need to do. We need to make those holes bigger, and then with a file or whatever kind of bit you've got, we need to elongate those and make them the right shape. Right, so 2 side holes drilled. Now you can see what I've done here. I've used that same 13mm drill bit just to give us a chamfer there for the locking screw. So hopefully that's nice and easy and self-explanatory. Back in a minute. Okay. So, final fettling has been done with a file, and you can see all 4 wheel bolts go in and the securing screw. Now, probably going to get loads of comments, well, if anybody ever watches the video. These bolt holes, if you sent it to an engineering company, yes, you could get them exactly in the right place. But honestly, it doesn't make much difference. The bolt holes are always elongated on these anyway, to aid fitment of the wheel bolts when they come into factory. You will always see these are 15.6mm bolt holes that are put in the discs. It's the clamping force between the wheel and the hub that is important, not the security of the wheel bolts in these holes that matters to stop the brake disc from turning. It's all about clamping force. It's not about the alignment of these holes specifically. So you can put the comments in if you want to, but I'm just going to ignore them because it's not really relevant. As I said, it's all about clamping force. If you look at disc specifications, they have clamping force that you're expected to put between the wheel and the hub when you put them on. So look it up, it's on Brembo's website. Next bit we'll do is dealing with actually getting the caliper to fit the different disc than what the bracket was designed for. So that's what we'll do next, and I'll show you what you need to do to make it happen. Cheers. Right, so these are the brackets that you can get. As I say, quite a few manufacturers. I bought these directly from Epytec, but there are other manufacturers of these brackets, and they will all suffer from exactly the same thing. It's not the brackets are wrong, it's the discs are not obtainable anymore. So you've got to think that in space, this bolts to the carrier, and then the caliper itself bolts on here. Now what we've done is we're using a disc that is different in two directions. So one direction it's bigger this way, so therefore we need to space the caliper out in this plane to account for the bigger disc. And the second thing we've done is the disc is actually deeper from the top of the bell to the back of the disc, and because of that we need to space this out from the carrier very slightly. So what we've actually got is we've got, let's hope this will focus. So we've got this spacer here, which I believe is 3mm, which goes on the back there, and then we've got this spacer here, which goes there, which spaces out the caliper out. So that spacer there from the carrier, so it moves the bracket more inboard. That spacer there, which is 5mm, moves the caliper out 5mm. So 3mm, 5mm, and that should then make the difference to make the bracket fit. Well, it does on the other side, so let's hope it does on this side as well. I don't know how these other YouTubers do it one-handed whilst holding a camera with the other hand to show you what they're doing. I find that completely impossible. But I'll do the best I can to try and show you the sequence for bolting this together, but with the pads in, and then show the disc moving, and then it's done. Nice and quick. So I'll just move all the cameras around, try and get some shots of what I'm doing, or probably stick my head in the middle of the picture, so who knows. Let's start off with nice shiny new bolts from Epytec, so shout out to them. It's a nice kit they do, complete with the bolts and everything. Bolt and spacer in there. Bolts and spacer in there. Again, there's nothing wrong with using these spacers, because you've got to think of the direction of the shearing forces and everything else. So as long as you've got enough of the bolt through to the other side, and the bolts, these nice new ones from Epytec, still go all the way through the carrier, so we don't need to concern ourselves about that at all. And also the bolts on the that hold the calipers to the carriers are also plenty long enough to go straight in. So let me just grab all the caliper bits, and then we'll put all that together. Right, so you can see spacers on the back, calipers at the ready, and just hopefully slot them on nice and easy. This is obviously easier if you don't have the pads in, but I want to try and show the fitment. It's basically straight on. Saying that, come on, go in. So as you can see, bolts go straight in. Calipers are nice and in the middle. We've got nice spacing out from the pads to the edge of the discs. And obviously this is all nice and tight. Let me grab the camera off here and try and bring you in for a slightly better shot of what's going on. So, let's come on focus. Right, so you can see here that we've got nice spacing on there. Here, and if we go under here and look, you can see. Now, what I am going to make is I'm going to make some slightly better shaped spacers, because these happen to be ones that I've used previously but were exactly the same size. So I'm going to cut off some fresh bits of aluminium and make those perfect. But what I wanted to do was just show how reasonably easy this is to do, and it just works. So right, well, let's get us back on here. Right, well, I hope everybody's found that interesting, and I really hope that it's been useful to somebody who's suffered from exactly the same things that I suffered from, the inability to be able to buy the right discs for this at any kind of reasonable price. I also wanted plain discs. The only company that sold them seemed to do these horrible grooved and drilled things. I wanted to keep mine looking quite simple, and well, I'm just calling it stock. That's not really fair. I just don't particularly like drilled or grooved discs. On a track car, maybe, when you actually want to disperse and get rid of the gases that build up between the disc surface and the pad. But on a road car, when you just want better modern brakes on a car, I don't quite see the point. You're only liable to stop once or twice from 70 miles an hour, so why do you need it? Anyway, thanks very much. Come back, I'm going to be doing a rear disc conversion on this as well, so just getting together all the parts of that. That's going to be another adventure, because rather than buying the £800 kit, I bought one for £80. Am I mad? Probably. Anyway, thanks very much. My first effort. I'll read all the comments, all 4 of them, undoubtedly. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.